Denise, guess what?
What's Abby?
We got chismes.
Hi everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of We Got Chisme. As you guys know, my name is Denise. And who's that?
My name is Xavier, but she's gonna say Sabicito.
Yeah, Suavecito. You can call him Xavier if you want, I guess. Anyway, today we are continuing with our very, very nice spooky episodes because it's Halloween time and who doesn't love a good ghost story?
Well, Halloween is on Friday, but we are on that.
It's Halloween time. After October 15 is Halloween time. It's like you get half October to do fall activities, and then the other half you get to do Halloween activities.
Yeah, I guess so.
By the way, I have to go to a haunted house. If anybody knows about a good one, please let me know. I really want a good one that scares me. I'm in Jersey, by the way. So, today, all the stories that we have, I have no idea what they are because Sabi was the one that picked it out. But those listening, he's doing the rapping thingy, like the rapping hands. And you say, yeah, bro, basically.
Let's see if the stories are the like of Denise. Well, she
Oh,
won't.
most likely. I love every ghost story. It's just that I went mild last time, and now Sabi apparently is gonna go even harder on the spooky thing. We're just getting to that level. You
Uh,
know?
well, it's something that I've read and it makes sense for based on what I've left. So it's kind of like, oh, that reminds me of that. Or that, why is that happening? So like things that could be like real that actually happened. And now like, sometimes your brain um playing tricks on you,
Mhm.
but you can tell this one were not tricks playing on you.
Ooh.
Especially the first one. It might look like very innocent at first, but
I'm
then
excited. Woo! Okay. So the title for today is Whispers Beyond the Veil. Because we get those whispers coming from the other side. Okay, I'm done. So Sabi got these ones from like a prompt, a question that they do go ask Reddit. And the question was people who experience ghosts slash demonic encounters, what's your story? And the first story does not have like somebody who I cannot give you a username because it was deleted. So I'm guessing you just got it from this thread, but it was
so the person apparently have deleted Reddit.
mm,
The funny thing for those who doesn't know, once you delete your Reddit, and you have post in a comment, your comments persist, but just the username just show as delete.
oh,
Yes. So this is a person who story is like 3 years old. If
okay.
I'm not mistaken. And yep, but I guess hopefully the whatever was haunting her didn't get her all of her.
Whatever was haunting her deleted the account. I'm just kidding. Anyway, as a reminder again, is people who experience ghost demonic encounters, what's your story? Okay. So the first one starts like this. When I was pregnant with my second child, I will have insanely vivid dreams, usually just random things. But one night I dream about what I had come to know as the Hat Man. Ooh, okay, that sounds scary. I will give a little background for context. My friend Anna had recently moved into a different home, and her friend Charlotte moved into Anna's old one. Charlotte and I were only acquaintances, but since Anna had lived in that house, I was very familiar with her. In my dream, I was walking up to the house with my husband and my oldest daughter. I was coming to babysit for Charlotte. I was super foggy and dark, with no other houses around, nothing but a man sitting outside the fence. He had his back to us, just staring at the house as if he sat in a wheelchair. The feeling I had was extremely uneasy, and something about the man was just off. As we approached, I got the sense that he wanted to get into the house but couldn't. He appeared middle-aged, nothing stood out besides the wheelchair and his hat. So this is why she calls him the Hat Man, because he has a hat.
Okay.
It was the kind of hat you had seen in a show like Peaky Blinders. The closer I got, the more I somehow knew that this was not a good person. And like person is in quotes. Says, in fact, he was not a person at all, just something pretending to be one. The wheelchair felt like a disguise meant to make him seem harmless. Don't ask me how I knew all this. It's just dream logic, I guess. As we came up beside him, almost passing the entrance to the gate, I say to my husband, don't look at him, do not talk to him. For whatever reason, I look at his face anyway, and he started to change. I cannot really describe what he became as he grew and morphed. I could feel his anger radiating as he turned into a distorted, towering thing. We quickly rushed past him and into the house. He had disappeared. When I got inside, nothing was right. The house was abandoned and dilapidated. I don't know what it says there. Anyway, the house was abandoned, except for a worn kitchen table where three little girls sat, all wearing the same onesie. Two were twins and one was slightly older. Now, Charlotte only has one son and a toddler daughter, and I had never babysat for her or even met her children. A few days later, I told Anna about the dream. I always tell people my dreams. I think they are entertaining and weird. In parentheses, says, I'm sure anyone who has the misfortune of hearing about them probably just thinks they're weird. She agreed it was strange and mentioned that Charlotte's son had been complaining about a ghost or something in his closet at night, saying it scared him. Anna told Charlotte about my dream, and shortly after, Charlotte reached out to me privately, and what she says sent shivers down my spine. Before her daughter was born, she had a miscarriage, twins, and her son had intermittently telling her about a ghost that came out of his closet at night, a figure wearing a strange hat. She also said that she had been feeling extremely depressed and off lately. Charlotte asked if I had ever heard of the Hat Man, and I hadn't. And the hat in my dreams wasn't the same type her son described when he talked about the thing in his room at night. I told her all the details of my dream, and we ended our conversation agreeing it was strange. I did not talk to her again after that. Honestly, I had forgotten all about it since I was so busy with a toddler and preparing to give birth again. My pregnancy was hard and postpartum was even harder. I immediately developed severe postpartum depression, and honestly, my mind went to some dark places during that time. I do not want to get into that part much, but I am really lucky to still be here writing this now. One day, a few months after I had my second daughter, I lay down on the couch to sleep while the baby sleeps, in quotes. I drifted into a strange half dream, half awake state when I heard and I felt someone come to the edge of the couch, standing right behind where my head was. I got the sense that it was a man and that he was frightened. Just as fast as he appeared, he disappeared, and someone or something was left standing behind him. Oh my God. The sense of dread that flooded my body was overwhelming. I felt heat burning through me before I jerked awake. As I opened my eyes, jolting upright and turning to face what was behind me, I caught a fleeting glimpse, a shadow, a tall black outline of a man wearing a wide brim hat, and then in a blink, he vanished. What the hell did I just see? What the hell just happened? I don't even know why I say anything, but the words just came out. Why? And in a quiet, retreating voice that was not my own, but unmistakably immense, I heard, because you invited me in. After the initial shock and questioning my sanity, I realized that whatever that thing was, it carried the exact same energy as the man in the wheelchair from my dream months ago. I'm not one to believe in stuff like this, and honestly, it was the last thing on my mind. I was exhausted for the C-section, adjusting to life as a newborn. With a newborn and barely holding it together. But I Googled what I saw and scrolled to the images, there it was, the dark silhouette wearing the same hat with the caption, "The Hat Man." I read countless articles trying to piece together this strange experience that made no logical sense. Excuse me, what?
It's a
Does
demon.
that really exist?
Yes, it's a demon.
Like if I Google it, it can come to my house? Okay, let me Google it.
Doesn't work that way.
Okay, I don't know. She only had a dream and she didn't invite him in. How?
When she sees them,
Huh?
when she sees them, she look at
Oh,
her dream.
I
That's
didn't
what
know
you,
just by looking at it.
yeah. The fact that you interact with him in your dreams, that's
God,
what
the
you
thing is
invite.
scary.
Yeah. And the fact that the other person was depressed and the child keeps seeing the ghost, that's mean like he was haunting the house. And that's mean that that thing being in the house for a while now.
But it was crazy that she doesn't even talk to Charlotte because she never babysat for her or
He's
anything.
been in the house before when his old friend was there.
But then the old friend didn't take anything. And why did it come to her?
Well, remember, some kids are very sensitive and can see things that other cannot. So her son was sensitive enough to see it. Mom was just depressed on the house. Those are symptoms of presence, a dark presence on your house, in your place. And and by her being so having such a hard time when she was pregnant and when she gave birth, apparently she was have a very huge depression for what she said, the postpartum thing. That's also the ghost. I mean, not the ghost, the demon.
I don't know. Tonight I'm sleeping with the light on.
And this is the first story, darling.
I'm sorry, Adam, but we're sleeping with the lights on. That is scary as hell. No.
I told you the one that you brought last week was baby steps.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that's scary for me. I cannot. Ugh. This is real shit, okay?
Yep.
This is gonna kill me.
That's what I told you. Like I look the one that are like realistic and things that what they say. It's
Have you ever seen The Hatman?
no. I seen other.
Okay, do you know what's crazy though? That remember when I told you that my house in Ecuador, some people will see
Mm-hmm.
like people walking in the house. Well, there's also stories of like the neighbors in front of our house. They will see someone walking on the roof of the house, and he had a hat. He had a hat. He had like a trench coat, kind of, and like a suitcase in his hand, and he will walk back and forth on the roof of the house, basically. And now it's scaring me because what if this thing was in the house and I never knew?
Not the same one. Of course, not the same one, darling.
I don't know. That thing can travel different countries.
Yeah, but the fact that when she remember what she said, when I got into the house, it looks abandoned. So
Yeah,
meaning that that demon or whatever was attached to the house for whatever happened there. Maybe was implicated there a long time ago
I play with the Ouija board or something like that.
and stay there. So now it's just feed from the people, especially if they're sensitive about anything. That's when it takes more.
I don't want to be sensitive ever.
Trust me, you are not. Um, okay.
That's very scary. I don't know how you deal with it. Ah, okay. Let's move on to the next one.
Next,
Anything you
you
wanna
go
add?
to uh,
Anything you wanna add before we move on?
mm, I will add something after the next one though.
Do you wanna add something about the baby shower, or you wanna wait down till later?
Well, I can add it to this one though. Since it's kind of demonic.
Mhm.
So Denise and I have a friend in common that when we were in college, she was having her first baby.
Mhm. She was,
It
yeah.
was her first son. Um, so we know this person from high school, and they were living in a house. Her and her husband were living in a house, well, kind of in a basement, in a house. So we went to the baby shower, and as soon as I stepped in down into the basement, uh, I saw a figure of a man dressed up like with a dark suit, but I saw it like as clear as you guys can see Denise pretty much. And he was standing, but his face was not like normal. It was like very sinister, like that face of evil in you. Like you can feel the bad energy coming from the person irradiated. So I look at him, and of course he noticed I'm looking at him. So look at me, and I'm like, okay. So I go outside, but this is while the baby shower was going on. So it was just the friends left. Um, and I asked the
Before, let me say something before Sabi got there, I got there by myself. I walk in the house, and as soon as I walk in the house, there is this doll that is sitting on a shelf, like it's like this, how do you say
the one.
like muñecas de tela,
Uh-huh.
like
Uh,
how do you say
like
like like a cloth
a
doll.
cloth doll? Yeah, a cloth doll.
I don't know if that's how you call it, but it's it's these dolls that are no, they're not heavy or anything. They're just very soft and things like that. So this doll was just like sitting on a shelf, and as soon as I opened the door and walked in, the doll flew down. Like it was like somebody threw it away, like right in front of me on the floor, and I was like, "That's weird." And I nothing happened, and then we put it back, and then as soon as we put it back, we started walking again, and it fell again. So I was that freaked me out a bit, but I was like, oh, whatever, let's keep going because there was a lot of people. And then Sabi gets there and this happens. So he was probably throwing the doll around when you got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw that, I come out, and I asked our friend, like, "Hey, do you sleep okay in this house by any chance?" And she was like, "Oh, you saw it, didn't you?" And I
Because
was
she
like,
also has that gift. She can also see things
"Yeah, she is sensitive, not smart,
as
but
you.
she can see things here and there." And she was like, yeah, I have seen him too. So sometimes he can, in my dreams, or I see him around or move stuff around. And so he's like, that's not a ghost, right? And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's not a ghost. It's a demon. This is like, how you know? Like, well, first of all, the energy that he has. Second of all, he looked at me top to bottom. And third of all, he's after your baby. And she was like, wait, what do you mean? So I was like, that's all the vibe that he gave me. So that thing was not here before. It's not with the house. So wherever you go, it will follow you. But after a while, and she said that she had vivid dreams where she felt something like trying to um, take her baby from her belly. So, you know, and stuff like that. So then Denise has something inside, and she needed to go in and pick it up.
And
But
this is after we were already freaked out because when we were outside just talking, like almost everybody left and we were only like a small circle talking, the music kept going up and down. And you can see the actual knob from the speaker moving, and there was nobody next to it.
yeah.
So I had to go and pick up something and I was freaked out. So I told Sammy, can you come with me? Because I'm scared.
And what happened next, Denise?
And then I go to pick up my thing, and then Sabi stands next to me and he says, oh, he's standing right in front of you. And I was like, what? What? And then I just turned around and left. And then Sabi had to go and get my my things because I was like, I am not dealing with this. Like I say, I'm a scary cat. So now tell us, what did you see?
Hmm?
Did you see the same thing? The same man standing right there?
It was the same demon.
He
He
was
was
just waiting for us.
well, no, it was in one particular room, the room that was gonna be the baby. That's where he used to dwell the most. Because you probably didn't notice, but that room was extremely cold compared to the other one, besides they being in a basement. It was like July. Um, that room was extremely cold. And when I feel something weird, like I feel it like in this, like when you get those goosebumps, like it's come from like you feel like in your bones.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel that. And also it smell like sulfur.
Sulfur, right? I've heard that.
Yeah, demons usually. Well, that's how sometimes I'm not able to see it, but I'm able to.
I mean, you have an extremely sensitive nose. You can pick up anything.
like a dog.
Like a dog,
So
literally.
yeah, so that's that's our story that me and Denise share together. Um,
Yeah. But the friend is fine, the baby's fine. He's
Everything was fine afterwards. So I haven't seen him around then, but after that happens, we kind of are so close as we were before, I would say.
yeah,
Um,
fine. I saw them, I mean, I saw them more often. I know that she had a lot of dreams, she had a lot of things, but then I think she talked to someone and that person like gave her things to do around the house, and I think that that's what
that
helped.
that helped her a little bit with
Yeah, and then when the baby was born, everything disappeared. Even her, she's not able to see things anymore after she had the first baby.
yeah. So that means two things,
What?
but I save my comments for that.
No, tell me what does it mean?
You remember that one of the story that you mentioned the other time that it was like past like years without nothing happening, and that will be related to one of our stories in that you're gonna read.
Okay.
Nothing happening, and then years later, it's just popped back up.
It's just like The Conjuring.
Yes, pretty much.
I don't know if you haven't watched the last Conjuring movie, go watch it. It's really good. But it's the same thing. Basically, this demon was after the baby and then it disappeared completely. And then when the girl was like 20, it came back. So that's crazy. Okay, hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully everything went away completely
It's
and nothing
okay.
come back.
Anything by that happening that we can help. Well, I can help you. You will just run away.
Yeah, of course. I'll wait for you guys outside. Are you guys good?
All right, let's go with the
I'm
second.
established. I'm a scary cat and I run away. Okay? So Sabi can deal with that. Okay, let's go to the next story. So Sabi can give us more things later. Okay, so the username who posted this is or the user who posted this is Mekaotaku.
Mega Meta Otaku.
Meta Otaku. I don't know. Well, that's the name that we can read. And it says, when I was 20, I moved into a house with my then girlfriend. It was a 3-bedroom rental in a decent part of town and really, really cheap. The only downside was that the landlord didn't live in the state and did not speak English, so repairs took a while. Thanks to a series of events involving my girlfriend's job, calling her in, and her brother being a flake, I ended up moving everything in by myself. About 10 minutes into the move, and I had my first encounter. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a black dog looking up the stairs at me. I thought I was hallucinating from exhaustion, but then my dog, a large German Shepherd mix who was upstairs with me, walked over to the stairs and I started growling, staring directly at it. The black dog casually walked away. Oh my God, I'm sorry, but that's cute. It's a doggy. Okay. Anyway, I ran downstairs and looked everywhere, but could not find it. We both saw the dog a few more times and had several other weird sights, sounds, and experiences in the house. But there was one that, without a doubt, a paranormal experience, the one that made us move out. Okay. Our master bedroom was upstairs. It was an especially hot summer, and the old AC was not cooling the upper level efficiently. So we decided to sleep in a bedroom on the main floor that I used as my computer room slash guest bedroom. This room always had a strange vibe, and we had noticed that our dog, who usually follows everywhere, refused to go in. Instead, he would lay down in front of the doorway and wait for us. He was a bit odd sometimes, so we just wrote it off as a typical dog behavior. No, dude, if the dog does not want to go in, never go in. Okay. At some point in the middle of the night, I woke up to being violently shaken.
Violently shaking.
Yes. As I became aware, I could feel a hand gripping my arm tightly and shaking me back and forth. Thinking the house was on fire and that my girlfriend was trying to wake me, I jumped up and turned around to get out of bed. That's when I came face to face with what many people will call a shadow person. It was a black mass, vaguely human shape, but by the light of the street lamp outside the window, I could clearly see it. I could feel freezing cold air pouring off it. Thinking if I was dreaming and that my girlfriend was still trying to wake me, I turned back toward the bed, only to see her still there, sound asleep. I turned back again, and the shadow was still standing there. Now, wide awake and full of adrenaline, I back away. After scaring the absolute life out of me, the shadow slowly turned, lumbered toward the door, and drifted out into the hallway. My dog, who had been sleeping in the hall, woke up and skittered backward into the room, terrified. I sat on the bed for a while, trying to collect myself, before finally getting up and checking the hallway. I turned the light on, and of course, it was gone. I didn't wake my girlfriend, but I also did not sleep again until the sun came up. I told her about it the next day. We called the landlord and told her we were moving out. I explained that the house was haunted and that we will not be staying past the end of the month. She seemed to understand and did not protest at all. That means she knows.
She noticed something happens to her as well.
Okay, so the dog was also the shadow person, but taking the shape of a dog?
Whenever you, they say like whenever you have dreams about black dogs, means those are demons.
But my baby is a black dog and he's so cute. So I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
So, I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she was in a resort in Dominican Republic. So while she was in the resort, my mom is a little sensitive. to-
Mhm.
So while she was in the resort, she having this nightmare. So her nightmare was that the housekeeper was taking a doll out of the uh no, she was sleeping and she wake up in her dreams and see a big black dog in front of her, crowding her next to her bed. The first thing, and then like the dog disappeared. And then she sees this housekeeper coming into the bathroom and putting something like removing like a wallpaper from the wall and taking out a doll from it. And we stuff around it and put it back. And
Oh, she's
then
witchcraft.
and then like putting it in a nicely way where like you don't see absolutely nothing. And then my mom, like the housekeeper, will laugh, and then she went back to sleep. Then she wake up. My mom like actually wake up from the dream. And my mom is very into like godly, like very religious. Of course, put in an easy way to say it. And she went back to sleep, she reviewed all of that and she went back to sleep. What happened was when she went back to sleep, it was no, she dreamed again, and it was not one dog. It was like three dogs now, and they were all barking at her and trying to bite her. So she started rebuking all of them, and at the end, they all left and left her alone. So those when you dream stuff like that, sometimes dreams, like they say, um, you have you heard like the dreams are like sometimes signs from the future or whatever, or like they have a meaning.
Mhm.
Yeah. So a lot of people say like when you dream is actually your spirit that it's living that experience vividly, and it's just giving like an insight of what's to come or something that it's happening that you cannot see in your like physically, but your spirit can catch it and see it. I have a lot of dreams like that, but mine was more like the do what he experienced, like with the night terror, but mine was like quite vivid. And they talked back to me, which it was nasty. Anyhow. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I do dream a lot. Most of them are nothing, but some of them have come true.
No, I don't dream. I rarely, very rare, I have a dream. But when I have a dream, it's either about something that's to come, and most of the time, like 85% of the time comes true, or Well, I don't have those dreams anymore anyway, so I'm good. Like the night terror stuff like that about those demons, so they don't bother me anymore, thankfully. Um,
But you used to have them
quite often,
very often,
like twice a week,
like things coming up to you in the bed.
standing next to me unable to move or say anything, and then
Mm.
eating or just follow me around or coming out of the closet.
Oh my God, that's crazy. But that was in DR.
No, in Union City, girl.
Really?
Yeah, not just in DR. It was here in the United States when I used to live before.
Right, because I used to go to church in New City, and that's when all this happened.
Yeah, I used to have authority before, not anymore. Yeah. So it
Wow.
was fun times indeed.
I don't think I've ever seen like I had when I was a kid in the house that I told you that everybody thought was haunted. I used to have bad dreams, but in the sense of like I would go downstairs and I would see all my family outside the window. I would go exactly to the place that I told you in the last episode that it was cold. And I
Mhm.
was like stand there and I would see all my family outside of the window and I would try to call out to them and I couldn't. Somebody was holding me back. And I couldn't yell, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. And it was so bad. And I was having that dream every single night.
Okay.
And then, uh,
That demon was having a likely to you.
apparently, but then my grandma, she told me to say, like in Spanish, she would say like, la sangre de Cristo tiene poder.
The
Like,
blood of Christ have power.
yes, you will say that. And she told me to say it 3 times. And it stopped completely. My dreams, I never had a dream like that again. And then I think a few years after, I had another dream, but it was the same thing, but it was like I was in like in a theme park and I will get into something and then that thing will spin so fast and I will scream, stop, stop, and it will never stop. And I will have the dream again every single night until I did what my grandma told me and they will go away.
Yeah, so you have visitors, darling.
Yeah, that's what I figure, but I never really saw any because like you say, I'm not that sensitive to see those things, but I do have the occasional dreams. Like the way I know my dream is gonna come through is when it's foggy. It's very foggy around, and I only see what's happening in that moment. And then, like, I don't know how many months later it will happen, and I'll be like, "Whoa," which is crazy that that happens, and I'm still very scared about everything.
Yeah, so people who dreams a lot, they dream a lot of nonsense.
Hmm.
For instance, Paolo talks in his sleep. Um, and he dreams a lot nonsense.
Yeah.
Uh, but
Has he ever acted or only talks?
it was one night he almost punched me while he was sleeping. He was fighting with somebody in the dream. I don't know what, who.
No way.
I know, right? That was funny. So I have to literally like hold him, like hug him, because you know what it is to wake up with somebody about, and then you see
I
like
want to
he's
punch
coming
you.
from your face, and you just have to dodge it. And then that was epic, but thankfully it just happened once.
Thankfully, that's crazy. I think the worst that Adam has done, which scared me like crazy. He sat up in the bed. Okay, for context, he plays D&D like Dungeons and Dragons, and he's the bad guy because he plans everything. So he's like the bad guy in the game, like he's all the enemies. So he has this voice that I call it the demon voice. Like when we just moved in together, he used to do the voice, and then my dog will go crazy. He will be like, "What's happening?" So he has that deep voice. I call it a demon voice. So he woke up in the middle of the night. He sat down in the bed. He pointed in between the closet door and the door to get out of the bedroom. And then he said, "Don't you see it? It's right there." But he said it with the demon voice. And then he just said, he pointed, he said it, and then whoop, went back to sleep. And then she's like, "What?" I was so scared to look because I was like, what if there's actually something?
It might be something, and he but he was just reacting towards it.
I don't know, that scared me
Okay.
so bad. And then other times he would just sit up and then just be there or just move his hand like he's talking. And that's it. And then he will go back to sleep.
Yeah,
Thankfully, he has not tried to punch me like you.
yeah. That thankfully just happened once. Mhm.
Hopefully it doesn't happen. Oh my God.
I know. And he was fighting. I don't know who was fighting for because he don't remember nothing of his dream most of the times. And
Same. I
so
don't remember. I don't remember everything.
I do remember every single little piece of it, every single details. For instance, when I went to China, I knew that I was going to China like half a year before. I just didn't know that that was China. Until
Yeah.
I get to China, I'm like, huh, deja vu. But how am I getting a deja vu if I never been here before?
Hmm.
So and then the dream that I have came to my head like, oh, this is what I seen all these buildings, these mountains, these uh people that I never met before, but I dreamed about them like 6 months before and stuff like that. Like every single little thing that happens, major event in my life that I have to do, I usually have a dream like quite a few months before. Scary. I know.
You know what's gonna happen.
Let's go to the third story. This
Yeah.
one laughed.
Okay.
Looks a little bit more like The Conjuring.
Oh my God. Okay. So the user for this one is called Dusk Star 21. And it was posted 3 years ago. And it says, this is something I usually only tell my close family and friends. To give you some context, I live in the capital of my state, and I used to have a great grandfather in a small town about 3 hours away from home. He passed away a few weeks before turning 101 years old, though that last bit is irrelevant, just a fun fact. The point is, my family used to visit him at least once a month. My grandparents, uncle, aunts, cousins, and parents, 4 to 8 cars full of people, but we never stay overnight. At least that's what my family insists. It's also almost impossible for me to take an afternoon nap. Insomnia is common for me, and this becomes important later in the story. So I believe I was haunted by something I now know are called guardians, entities sent to stalk a specific person. Oh. I have a vivid memory of my family staying overnight at my great grandfather's house. They gave us hammocks and blankets, yes, Mexican style. And yes, it gets cold in the early morning before sunrise. I have always had the habit of waking up around 2 to 3 a.m. since I was about 7 to 9 years old to grab a snack, usually a couple of cookies. We were sleeping in the living room. Near my hammock was a small table with cookies my mom had left there, knowing I had get hungry and would not want to bother anyone. Sorry. In front of that table was a front door, which usually stay open. And parentheses, it says it was a small safe town where everyone left their doors unlocked at night. But since we were visiting, they decided to close and lock it to make us feel safe. Next to the door was a large window with iron bars, basically a wall-sized window that stretched from the floor almost to the ceiling from one column to the next. I took a couple of cookies and began eating without looking up when I suddenly felt a chill run down my spine. A strong instinct that something bad was about to happen. Goosebumps spread across my whole body. Then I heard it. Tick, tick, tick. Something or someone was tapping the iron bars of the window, trying to get my attention. When I looked up, I saw a pale head with black veins and no hair. Oh my God. The eye sockets were empty, pure infinite darkness, and he was smiling. Not a monstrous grin full of sharp teeth, just a unnaturally wide smile stretching across 3 quarters of its face. No tongue, just darkness beyond a single row of teeth. I have seen this in movies. I could see part of its body, the long neck and long pale hands ending in black tipped fingers and nails pointing toward the door. I felt an overwhelming compulsion to open the door. Step by step, I got closer, trapping my own body while my mind screamed silently, unable to move or make a sound. Then something snapped in me. As my little hand touched the lock, I suddenly regained control. Crying silently, I backed away and climbed into my hammock. The thing eventually left the window, but not before reminding me it was still there, with those endless ticks on the bars. I don't remember how or if I slept after that, The next memory I have is of my family receiving the news that the neighbor had died of a heart attack in the middle of the night. He was found next to his door. There is no way for me to confirm this because, like I say, my family insists that we never stay overnight, that we always left before sunset, but the memory is vivid, as clear as my first kiss or the first fight I've ever won in elementary school. Ever since that night, I've had a phobia of open windows in the dark. I always close my curtains after the sunset, yet every once in a while I still hear it. The sound reminding me is waiting for me to open the door again. Tick, tick, tick. This story actually has a happy ending, but I'm at work right now, so I will edit and add the rest as soon as I can. Believe it or not, it's real. I don't care if you think it's a creepypasta, attention seeking, or insanity. I know what I lived through, and nothing you say will change my mind. That's crazy.
Oh, it's not done yet.
Yeah, I see that there is a part two coming. Okay, part two. Earlier than expected, since the phone call, in parentheses, says, since the phone calls gave me a break, customer service life, please be kind to us. We really do try to help.
Yep, I feel you, buddy.
In my mind, I was haunted for a whole decade, or at least I have memories of being haunted for that long. For some reason, I never told my parents. My dad's reaction was to say that whatever happened to me was not real, even though he had experiences with his late brother before I confessed everything. My mom, on the other hand, is deeply religious, so much that she will not even watch horror movies because she believes they are invitations for evil things to enter your home.
Which they are.
I've heard that from my parents my whole life, and I still watch a lot of horror movies.
No, they are. This is true, actually. Some of them, depending with the intention they create.
Okay, so from now on, I'll only watch in the movie theaters where they say. Got it, thank you. What?
Keep going.
They follow you from the movie theater?
I don't know. That's what they say.
Okay, I'll keep going. It says, anyway, I met my girlfriend, soon to be fiance, but don't tell her. Oh, through my best friend, let's call him Fred. 3 years ago, Fred invited us to his house for beers and dinner with his sister, brother-in-law, and another couple of our mutual friends. I was actually the one who introduced us to. After dinner, we went to the living room, which had a small window just big enough to let some light in and to see the house next door from the couch. That house also belonged to Fred's family. In fact, almost the whole block does. In my city, we usually build concrete walls between the houses, but the neighboring house was inside the same property wall, divided only by a small interior barrier. In that house, Fred's grandmother had died. According to his family stories, she had been possessed and died soon after a failed exorcism there. Fred told us this after I confessed my phobia of windows at night. Instead of asking why, he led us to the front yard and shared the story about his grandmother, how his parents' marriage had started to fall apart not long after her death. He told us he had seen a woman with long black hair and a white dress watching him from the kitchen when he came home from school around 9:30 or 10 p.m. In parentheses says we were studying law at the time. He also once saw her in the hallway after taking a shower in the middle of the day. He heard banging on his window at night and found a handprint on the glass the next morning. He does not have curtains. Then the other couple shared their stories. Tony said that he kept a mirror in his room covered with a blue shade because he once saw someone in the reflection who was not him. Whenever he forgot to cover it, something in his room would always be out of place. He lived with his parents but kept his room locked, only he had a key. His girlfriend Jessie told us she had an amulet made by a white witch. Not that kind of white witch, because she often felt a strange presence in her house. Eventually, I told my story, part one, and my girlfriend shared one of her own about speaking with a child during her neighbor's pregnancy. That child is now her neighbor's 7-year-old daughter. Wow. We all left afterward and slept fine that night, mostly because none of us slept alone and it was a Saturday. But the next night, Sunday, was different. Jessie had a nightmare about shadowy men made of black smoke speaking to her and attacking her insecurities. Tony's mirror somehow lost its cover during the night, and he could not find it until morning. He said that he could not sleep and felt like someone was watching him. He even swears he heard a scream inside his house, but no one else woke up. Fred saw the woman in white inside his room. She stood there for 10 minutes, just staring at him, then vanished. My girlfriend said she felt a presence in her room, like a predator stalking his prey. I felt something similar. At that time, I had distanced myself from religion. When I tried to pray to God for the first time in years, I felt someone choking me. The harder I tried to pray, the tighter the grip became. The next day, I called my friends and girlfriend, and every one of them described something strange happening the same night. That is crazy that it went to all of them.
Because they
It's,
brought it back. When you speak about the stuff, you just revivid that energy. Because every time you speak about something, you just whether you want it or not, you revivid the same feeling that you were of fear that you were experiencing at that moment. Your brain is reviving that scene and
yeah.
playing the
In
feeling.
the mirror thing, I get it. I do not. I will never sleep with a mirror facing my bed. I have read a lot of stories about that, and I will never do that. There was one time they came here to fix a closet, and they put the mirror in the like in front of the bed, and I took it, I put it in the bathtub, and I closed the curtain. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. It's extremely scary. I believe that.
Not done yet.
There is a part three. Part three. After confirming that we all experienced something connected to Saturday night, I came to the conclusion that whatever haunted Fred's house had sent a part of itself to each of us. Unlike most haunted places that are cold, Fred's house was unnaturally hot. My city is already hot and humid, and even on cool days, the house felt like it was radiating heat, as if the entity inside was expelling energy instead of absorbing it. Later, we discovered that a dark magic artifact had been buried beneath the property. That day, Tony and Jesse went to see the White Witch, while my girlfriend, Fred, his mom, his sister, and I went to church. Not just any church, but one where the only Vatican authorized exorcist in our region serves. Every Monday, he performs a healing masses, essentially large scale exorcism with his assistant. Wow. On the way there, I started to feel strangled again. I was angry at my girlfriend for driving us there, even though it was my own idea. The closer we got, the stronger the choking sensation grew. And that's when I realized I was not afraid. The thing was. It was trying to manipulate me into staying away. Then, just like in my childhood memory, something snapped inside me. The choking sensation stopped. I felt energy flowing from between my shoulder blades, as if whatever had been holding me was now being held by me. I felt it trap in my right hand, hot, heavy, and struggling to escape. When the mass began, the priest streamed the service, and he pauses streaming during the healing portion. As his assistants laid hands on people, many started screaming, reacting violently as whatever the carrier felt attacked. The priest looked directly at me. It felt like he was seeing through me. He sent one of his assistants to my girlfriend first, and I held her hand as I prayed over her. Then they worked on Fred and his family. I was the last one. The assistant prayed in a language I did not understand. Tongues or something like that, right? My hand burned, heavy and feverish. She told me to raise my right hand. I could not. I barely lifted it a few centimeters. Then the priest approached, took her place, and sprinkled holy water on my head and arm. He spoke again in tongues I could not understand, commanding me to lift my hand. I managed to raise it to my stomach, still not enough. He looked me in the eye and said, "You still have something else, something old." He turned toward my girlfriend, gave her a knowing nod, and called another man to bring a microphone. Standing by the altar, the priest spoke loudly. "Do you renounce all pacts? Do you renounce evil deeds? Do you renounce bindings?" The crowd responded, "I do." Then he said, "I destroy those pacts, those bindings, and those chains by the holy blood of Christ." Finally, he looked straight at me and asked, "Do you renounce the guardian, the entity that haunts you at night? Do you renounce the old pacts?" I looked down. I tried to speak but couldn't. I felt like that same child walking towards the door again, and I heard my girlfriend vomiting beside me. Then I managed to say, "I do." Believe it or not, since that day, my phobia of open windows at night is gone. I no longer hear the ticks, and while many people will say bullshit, I know it was real. You know what? I do not say bullshit because I've seen those masses. Well, I mean, I've didn't seen the Vatican approved one, but I have seen those masses where people, jump and fall in the ground and start convulsing, basically. And yeah,
I hope you liking my stories.
that's scaring me. And now, you say when you talk about these things, they come back, and now I'm even more scared because we're talking about a lot.
No, I mean, when you have those experiences, when you experience those things and you just revive it yourself by talking about it, it's not like if you talk about things that doesn't happen to you, it will not come to you because you have no saying with that. And what he was saying is like pretty much when he said like you have an old thing next to you. So he was carrying that with him since child he was a child. So he used to hear the knock, knock, knock here and there, or click, 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 whatever it was. My dog is killing me.
You
Um,
mentioned.
so pretty much is like that never left him.
No.
So it's like the first story, like one simple interactions. You see what I'm telling you? Like just for you to see them on their drink, that's enough for them to for you to invite them. Because he was just trying to call attention to see his face. So if you ever have a dream like that, try never to see the face.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. And that reminds me that was story specifically reminds me of my dad that he have a it was one time my father used to live here and used to go there on vacation like for 2 weeks or three. So it was one night that I remember he came home like very like unease. And he was saying that it was a horse following him. Mind you, in the middle of the city, he driving a car and it was a horse with a rider following him since he left whatever he was.
The writer had a
He,
head.
he had a head. Following him all the way home.
Crazy.
And he got home, he parked in the garage, and then he got inside and he goes straight to bed because it was late. And the next day he was telling my mom like he couldn't sleep because he just heard the horse riding like around our backyard, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he couldn't sleep that night at all.
And did that thing ever left or?
I don't know. Like, my father have a bunch of like weird stuff surrounding him, honestly, because I think I used to have so many sleep paralysis because whatever he had on him, because he was from all those people from the old times. Like he used to live in a campo, countryside. Um, and those people before he was involved with some partners, female partners that they were very devoted to those type of jobs,
Mm,
like witchcraft and stuff like that. So yeah, fun times indeed.
scary.
Mm-hmm.
I've ever, I think one time I dreamt with a shadow, but like I knew who the person was. It just presented to me as a shadow.
Yeah, because when you don't have the feeling of like
No, it wasn't bad.
it or like fear.
Okay. You wanna go to the last story?
That one it's not as bad.
No? Okay, good, because I'm scared.
Let's see.
So this one comes from the subreddit Ghost, and it is posted by Annie Rude one. It says, so this happened, I think, 15 or so years ago when my grandfather passed away. In my culture, the dead are cremated and there are elaborate ceremonies performed. The body carried by people while chanting the name of a Hindu god Ram after it was cleaned, clothed, and some ceremonial colors put on it. I was never very close to my grandfather. I barely remember ever having much to talk with him. But my parents say I used to talk to him a lot as a child. Anyway, when he died, and I didn't really know much about him other than he was a patriarch of the family, and everyone respected him. I was barely 10 years old then, and I was supposed to stay at my aunt's house. Sneaky that I was, I managed to follow my mother when she left for my grandfather's house, unaware that I was a few steps behind her. Anyway, the ceremony starts. There is a lot of crying, and soon four people, including my father, my uncles, and someone I cannot remember, carry the body on top of a structure made of bamboo and wood. They chant throughout the way. Nobody noticed that I was following them. They reached the cemetery, and there is a lot of crying, and I got bored standing at a distance. It's almost dusk, and I sit weirdly on a nearby platform. I will later come to know that it is sort of a memorial for the deceased. Sometime between all of this happening, I fall asleep. Hours go by, and when I wake up, there's no one. Just the last flames burning through pieces of wood. I panic. I look around to see if there is anyone, but there is no one. I start running towards the pyre. Pyre? I'm guessing? The pyre?
To the street. That's mean to say that she was trying to find the street.
Okay, I'm hoping perhaps some of my relatives might spot me by the fire and get a hold of me. Again, no one. I started crying. I look around to see if I can find my way to the street. The cemetery was on the outskirts of the town, and it was huge to my tiny mind. Rows after rows of those memorials I mentioned earlier. It's almost dark, and I can hear animals howling at a distance. While all of this is happening, I have a creepy feeling that I'm being watched. It sends a shiver down my spine, and to this, I do not remember ever being so shit scared. It was such a dark and nauseating feeling, a sense of impending doom. I cried louder and started running. Little did I know that I was running deeper into the cemetery. Farther from the road that will take me home. I reach the edge of the open ground and catch my breath near the tree line. I hear faint voices coming from beyond the silhouette of the trees in front of me. Perhaps someone might be returning after gathering wood from there. I am again hit with this nauseating feeling, and it's stronger now. To top it all, every time I walk around, I felt like I could hear footsteps, like someone right behind me. I turned around several times, yet found no one. I was so afraid at that point that I thought I might die. I took a leap of faith and ran towards the trees. The sound of footsteps behind me grew louder, and it seemed like whoever it was near, almost at arm's length, like they could just reach out and catch a hold of me. I was audibly sobbing and shouting for help. There is barely any light, but I remember hearing people in the distance. Suddenly, I'm in a clearing, and I see there is a community pond with a bathing area. I can see some people in my family, and I ran towards. No matter how loud I tried to cry, there was no sound coming out of my mouth. Finally, my aunt saw me and ran towards me. The last thing I remember before fainting is a hand on my shoulder and my body almost freezing on the spot. I was sick for a week after that, had nightmares for years, and in general stopped going to my grandfather's house or even the town. To this day, I find it difficult sleeping in the dark and sometimes wake up with a cold sweat and a creepy feeling on my shoulder, like someone was holding on to me. I really thought she was gonna say, I wake up, and none of this was happening.
Nope. And by the way that she described as whatever she catching, they're still there with her.
Hmm. Okay.
Mm.
Gonna be there forever. Until she goes to a church and they take it out of her.
Yes. So that's how it that's the end of my stories, pretty much.
You know what this remind me of? There is this movie. I don't remember the name, but it scared me like a lot. It was like an Asian movie, and it was about this guy who, like, I don't remember how it happened. The thing is that he always felt like he had like weights on his shoulder, like he had back pain, neck pain, and all these things, and nobody could figure out what's wrong with him. And then somehow, like, he takes a picture, he goes somewhere, and then he figures out that he picks up this person. And I don't remember if it was a ex-girlfriend that died or it was something that he just picked up somewhere, and then this person is sitting on his shoulders the whole time, just following him everywhere he goes. That's why he had that pain. Yeah, and so now that this girl says that, oh, I feel like creepy feeling on my shoulder, like someone was holding on to me. I'm like, oh, maybe there is someone holding on to you.
It is probably.
Crazy things. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed these stories because I have. Sabi is really good at these things. Scare me a lot. Thank you so much for that. And I hope everybody enjoys this.
Yes, I hope you sleep good tonight, Denise.
Yeah, with the lights on.
Eh, she would that. Yes, well, guys, like she said, we hope you guys enjoy our second special for the Halloween season. Uh,
Now we
and
know Sabi can find more stories, so we can probably do a third one.
oh, definitely, I can find a bunch of them.
Ooh, get us more, even better ones.
These are more common that you might think,
Mhm.
believe it or not. So yeah, so this story were pretty much written by people who were kind of lived this through it, and it's like it's very genuine. So this is not like BS going around. So yeah, so better than just seeing a friendly ghost.
Yes.
But at the same time, it makes you think a lot, like so much thing that is out there and you're not aware of it, or like
Like
spiritual things
like the Hat Man.
that we don't see that you can see on your dreams, but later on projected in your real life, feeling you're in your body or whatever.
Yeah. And what is the thing that the guy said that the guy that went to church? The,
Uh,
the, the
the Guardian.
Guardian. I never heard of that before.
Yeah, Google it.
Now I'm scared to Google things. Guardian of the Galaxy.
Not the Guardian.
Guardian Ghost. Mm, there is not many drawings. It's mostly like anime and things like that. So I don't think this is right. Is
You
it a demon?
stuff.
Is it a demon?
Can refer to the creature that guards a place in. So it's a creature that guards a place in fantasy settings, enforcing for the punishment in some Buddhism and Vaishnavism beliefs, or by be considered contradiction to the term of theological perspective.
Mm, okay. I didn't know those things existed, you say?
Yep. So, and there even is a
There.
book about them. Um, yeah.
Yeah. People beware of things, and if you hear a tick, 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 please do not
Mhm.
open the door.
Even happen the same way. Will happen different way. For instance, the first story was a guy in the wheelchair. For this one was the tick tick tick. For the second story, um, it was just pretty much what's the second story?
I forgot
The
it.
house, the dog, for instance, the
Yeah.
house was haunted. No, so this is not much big deal. And this fourth story was pretty much just
Something.
you go to cemeteries.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this, and we'll see you next week.
Until next week, and I will see if I can get you another set of nice stories, Denise.
It's even better ones because it's gonna be Halloween week.
All right. Until next one, guys, and sayonara.
Bye.